Traxxas build this car again, but bigger? Well, the other day I did a video asking people if Traxxas should relaunch this Kyle Busch NASCAR truck. Probably, I think about 140 comments, 120 of them said yes, absolutely, but with one exception. The majority of those people said Traxxas, build it bigger, build it 1/10 scale. So now people say, Armour, listen to their customers. Traxxas, there are a huge amount of people asking you to build this car brushless in 1/10 scale. Now, kind of technically, it is based on the Mini e-Revo platform, but as you will see in today's video, we'll actually go out and speed test it. First of all, with twin nickel metal hydride batteries in series, and then on a 3S pack, you will see it shows absolutely no tendency to wheelie. And as you will see, under full throttle, this thing handles just like the real NASCAR Truck Series car on there. The back end will stay gripped to the ground, but if you provoke it, it will drift round just like the rear thing and spin out. And one thing I would say, if you've driven a Mini e-Revo, which is an absolutely cracking car, best car ever, I've ever jumped in a skate park, but it has TSM on it. This thing is 9 years old. So when you want to drift this thing like this, so the only TSM, if you like, was the control you put into the car with your throttle and steering inputs. So what would this car be like with TSM? Well, after testing it today at some length, I'm very, very tempted to fit a TSM receiver in it. But anyway, what you're going to see today is Richie Boy speed testing this thing down our new speed run spot, and then have a little bit of fun seeing just how well it can drift or not. And if anyone who's thinking out there, well, if Traxxas came out with a 1/10 one of these, that would just be like copping the Armour infraction. This came out 9 years before Armour brought the infraction out there. Food for thought there, people. How different life would have been had Traxxas built this up to like 1/10 or 1/8 scale. Armour did that first though with the infraction, which is one of my all-time favourite cars to drive. But now I have a feeling if Traxxas brought this out in 1/10 scale, it would sell like hotcakes. I could see with 3S power on there, this thing doing 65 miles an hour, pretty much straight out of the box. Now you might say the infraction does 80 miles an hour outside of the box. Yeah, but that's on 6S. I could see Traxxas pulling one of these in 1/10 out on 3S. Anyway, let me see just how fast we can make this thing go today and how well it drifts. Just remember guys, if you like what you see today, don't forget to subscribe. So, how fast is the car that we think Traxxas should make again? Well, this is my Traxxas Kyle Busch, its special edition car. You can't get this car anymore. I did a video of it the other day and said to people, do you think Traxxas should make this again? A lot of people, in fact several hundred of you, commented yes, but make this in 1/10 scale. So if anybody out there from Traxxas is watching, you know what you should build next. Anyway, today we've got the car running with two nickel metal hydride batteries in series, which should be good for 50 miles an hour if the optional speed pinion is fitted to the car, and I have no idea if it is or not. I'm then going to run the car on a single 3S LiPo. I've got the GPS on board, so first of all we're going to do a speed run up and down with the twin nickel metal hydride packs, and then with the 3S pack. Have your guesses on the speed in the comment section right now. And one thing I would say is, well, this is a similar setup to the Mini e-Revo. This is an older style transmitter and it doesn't have any TSM on the car, so could be a little bit more of a handful. Let's feed the power in. Ooh. But I can tell you now that's not 50. Super smooth though. Super smooth though. Ooh. Man, do not want to stuff this into that wall. Okay, one more go and then we'll bring it in and see how fast it is. Ooh, man. Need a bit of heat in those slick tyres, Richie Boy. As I say, no TSM on here, so it's purely you've got to feed the power in a bit for the speed. Man, definitely need to get some heat in those tyres, Richie Boy. So just like the NASCAR cars itself, gonna need a little bit of heat in those rear tyres. What are we guessing? 43 miles an hour.
So I'm thinking we've not got a speed pinion fitted on there, but that bodes very, very well for when we do fit the speed pinion on there. Anyway, let me get the 3S pack in. Okay, GPS going. Let's have a quick run up and down and see. Oh man, that's going to be more lively with the 3S on there. Definitely going to need a little bit of care feeding the power in on here. So come on, have your guesses right now. We're going to get above that 50. Going to need me to feed this power in quite gently. Oh man. Power in quite gently. Oh, that's quicker, that's quicker. Just like a real, the handling is very much like the real NASCAR thing. In that if that back end gets out of shape, it begins to drift very quickly indeed. Oh, and as if on cue there, Rich. Tricky to keep it in a straight line, and as I say, now we're flat out now. As I say, quite a bit more lively with that 3S power. Want to drift that back end round in an instant. Almost like a mini armour infraction, but without the smoke. I'm thinking with TSM on this could be quite a fun handling car. Ooh. I really did not want to turn that limited edition body over, but check the speed anyway. 43 miles an hour. That is truly bizarre. That definitely felt quicker on the day. So I'm guessing we've not got the optional pinion fitted on here. It's going to need a little bit of work, I think, to be able to push it up to that 50. So, should Traxxas build the Coil Bush Special Edition or a NASCAR style truck like this? Well, for one thing, with TSM fitted to it, you could have a mini armour infraction drifter on here. This car has got the same power plant as the Mini E-Revo, but an older style transmitter with no TSM on it at all. Might fit TSM and see how we get on. If you catch that back end right, it is actually quite rewarding to drive. But that back end, just like the real NASCAR thing, will snap round on you viciously. So there we have it, 43 miles an hour on the day, but I don't think we've got the optional pinion fitted on board, and we'll check that later and fit it, and then we're going to come out again and see if we can hit that magic 50 mile an hour plus speed with this thing. But first of all, next time I am going to go out and do a bit of drifting, get some heat in the tires. It's just like the NASCAR truck, the handling of that thing, it's very, very light under power on the rear end.
I hope you like what you saw there today, people. I have a feeling we're going to see something like this potentially come out from Traxxas, but maybe a little bit, hopefully a little bit bigger, and maybe a lot faster on there. But I can see something like this in the pipeline, or maybe a new X01, as me and Phil Jolly were talking about just yesterday. And I will be fitting the optional speed pinion to this car, see if we can get that doing the 50-55 miles an hour on there. I'm also thinking, should I fit a TSM receiver in there so we can get the thing drifting like an absolute demon? Anyway, if you don't want to miss those videos, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Well, thumbs up if you like this video, guys. Post any comments you might have in the comment section below the video and hit the circle below to subscribe. And if you do hit the circle, don't forget to hit the bell.